All right, you're welcome back. So in this tutorial, we'll be talking about text editors. The text editor we're going to use. For you to start coding, you need to use the text editor, right? So if you've been following my web development tutorial with PHP, you'll find that I use Notepad++. I've been using it for quite long. Okay. The essence of using Notepad++ is not that no Notepad++ is the best text editor to use, but it is a good plain text editor. It is a plain text editor, and if you're a beginner, you should force yourself to use plain text editor to learn some stuff by yourself instead of using editors that will automate tasks for you. So at a point, by the time you would have mastered doing stuff by yourself, you will divert to a better text editor. Okay, so I think so far we've used Notepad plus plus enough. So if you've not seen it before, this is Notepad plus plus. Okay, this is it. This is how it looks. So it is plain. So you type a whole lot by yourself. You don't have to automate so much task, just like you do in VS Code. Okay, so it might be a bit stressful for you, yeah, but that is the discipline you should give to yourself and learn. Okay, so once you are okay with this, that's when you now go to VS Code. So you see Visual Studio Code. That is what we are going to use. If you open Visual Studio Code, please, before I open Visual Studio Code, please, if you don't have it in your system, you have to first of all install it. I think I will close this to show you how to install it, because I'm opening it already. Show you how to install it. Okay, now let me close it. Now let's go to, for you to install VS Code, just go to search from Google, just VS Code, just like this, VS Code. Just type, then you see code.visualstudio.com. Just click on it. It's a very popular text editor, if not the most popular. Okay, so you download, click on download. I'm using Windows. If you're using Mac, you're going to see download for Mac. Okay, so click here and you download. I already have it. I already installed it. So download it. It will download. After downloading, if you go to your download folder, you are going to see it. Let me just, sorry, if you go to download here, for download folder here, you are going to see what you downloaded. For example, let me show you that these are some applications I've installed in my system. Now this is VS Code. These two are VS Code, different versions of VS Code. Okay, so after downloading it will be like this. So you double click to install. When you double click, you click on next. Just keep clicking on next until, if there are options to be selected, you select options, and it's simple. It's not a big deal. Just follow next until you are done with the installation. Once you are done with the installation, then you come down here. You are going to see it here. Okay, now you can open it from here. We created a folder for our online shop. Okay, you can simply open this from here, and I just want to show you two ways you can open VS Code. Open your project in VS Code. Let's see, if I want to open our online shop in VS Code now, I can do it like that. I can just first of all open VS Code. Okay, after opening VS Code, I will go to File, then I click on Open Folder. Please, if this is your first time of opening VS Code, you are not going to see all these files. These files are what I've been using here. This file will not be here. You are just going to see a new environment. For example, it will be somehow like this. Let me see if I will help you with that. Yeah, it will be exactly like this. This is how it's going to be. Okay, so this is your first time of opening VS Code. This is how it's going to look. Okay, so then what you have to do now is, it's either you click on open folder from here, or you click on file, you click on open folder from here. You understand? Anyone will work for you. You click, then search for where the folder is. Remember that our folder is in drive C, XAMPP htdocs. Then look for online shop, look at it. You open it, then you click on select folder. Perfect. Our folder will be opened. Then it will tell you whether you trust the author of the project you're working on. Say yes, you trust it. Simple. Then if you watch by this side, you're going to see the name of your online shop, okay, the folder, and the folders you created. You get that? Awesome. Very good. And one more thing, please. You might also consider, if you've not created any folder like I did before, you can simply create folder in VS Code. You can open VS Code, start creating folders. Okay. If you want to create a folder, another folder now, you can click on new folder, type the name of the folder will appear here. You understand? If you want to create a file, click on here, new file, and so on and so forth. This is one way to open a folder in VS Code. Let me close it. Let me close this one also. Let me open it in another way. So another way to open it is just open the folder you want to. Let me close this one. Open the folder you want to open. You want to use VS Code to edit. For example, this online shop is open here. Right click here, click on open with VS Code. Let me open with code. Just click on it. It will open the same folder with the folders in it. Do you see that? Beautiful. Then click get started environment. Just close it from here. Awesome. We are good to go. Okay. Yes. So that said, having opened the VS Code, the next thing I'm going to introduce you is, I told you that VS Code automate tasks. There are a lot of things that helps VS Code to accomplish, to make work easy, and we're going to look at few things here. First of all, let's start from here. These few tools that are important. Let's start from here. Okay, this is Explorer. When you click on it, you see the shortcut key. When you click, you see the shortcut Control Shift E, in case if you want to use shortcut key. When you click here, it will hide your folders and files. When you click here to show it. You get the point? Okay, this one is search. So if you want to search for a particular file, but we don't have any for now. Okay. For this one, source control, we'll talk about that much later when we talk about GitHub. So that it is not within the scope of this lecture. Okay. This one is debug. When you want to debug your file, as you are looking for bugs to solve a problem. Okay, now this is the area I'm looking at now. We're going to look at extensions. You see the shortcut key, extensions. Extension is powerful in VS Code. Extension helps to a good extent to simplify some tasks. Add additional features to VS Code. It simplifies tasks for you. Okay, there are so many extensions in VS Code. We are going to look at some of the extensions we need to use. So let's click here now. I'm going to show you the extensions that I'm using. Install it and use it. But before I show you the ones that I'm using, let me show you how to install extension. When you click on extension, you're going to see all many extensions, the ones you've installed and the ones recommended more to install. Okay, so if you know the name of an extension you want to install, type the name here. For example, if I type in Prettier, for example, it will load to show me. Do you see Prettier? But I've installed Prettier already here. If you've not installed it, you are going to see this button like this. Just click here to install. Once you click here, you wait for some time. It doesn't waste time. It will install it quickly. Okay, very good. So that's how to install extension. Once you install it, it will start working. Okay, depending on the extension you are installing. Now let me show you the extensions you should install in your VS Code. Okay, I'm going to show you the one for the one for PHP. Okay, or maybe you can see all my extensions, the one I install. Now I also do mobile applications, so I also have some extensions for mobile application. For example, this one is for mobile application, Android or iOS emulator. It's important. Okay, this one is auto close tag. This one will help you to, when you type in a tag, maybe you type in div tag, it will automatically close it for you. Okay, this one is auto rename tag. Okay, all these ones are very important for HTML. Okay, auto rename tag. um this one is when you, maybe after typing a tag, you want to rename it. When you rename a tag, it will change the name of the tag. Maybe I will show you first. I will show you some of these things. Anyway, as you move on, you get it, because I'm kind of trying to be fast with this. Okay, for example, when you type in div tag and later you want to change it to paragraph tag, when you change the first tag, it will change the closing tag for you. It will change it to the corresponding tag. Okay, maybe this one will get you confused, right? Let me show you. I will create a file first. The first file we're going to use, it's going to be index.php. That is our first file. Okay, so let me use it to show you some of the things I want to show you. So when you create index.php, which is the first tag you're going to use, we are going to say maybe just the HTML. When you type in HTML, you see HTML:5. Click on it. This, it will automatically generate this for you. This is what I mean by automating tasks. It's automate a lot of tasks for you. You know, in Notepad++ and some other plain text editors, this, you're going to create this by yourself. You're going to type this doc type HTML, language English, meta tag, and all these. Okay, even this one too. But you see how this one just created it automatically for you. So you see, it makes it so easy, but it makes you lazy, right? Because if you've not mastered how to do this before, you might never know how to do it. If you now encounter a situation whereby you don't have to use PHP, I mean VS Code. Maybe you went for an interview and you don't have to use VS Code to solve task. Creating some of these things might become embarrassing. Okay, and if you can't create this as a web developer, this simple stuff, if you can't do that as a web developer, then people will begin to look at you as a novice. Okay, but not knowing that you are good, only that you've not mastered this stuff. Okay, that's by the way. So that's why you should learn how to type some of these things by yourself. But VS Code makes it quite easy for you, makes you to create application faster. Now let me let me show you what I mean by when you type a tag. For example, let me type this tag. I type div tag. Watch me now. If I type div, let's say if I type div, I just press enter key. Do you see? It will create closing and opening div for me. Then I will type in whatever I want to type. Do you see that? What if I change this? If I change this to P, do you see it will automatically change the closing one? That's the point I'm talking about. You understand? Very good. You will learn other ones as we work. One more thing I want to show is, what if you maybe you open div and you want to add class to that div? Just put dot, then you type in the name of that class. Let's say container, then enter. You see, to create div with container class. Awesome, makes it so easy, right? Another thing, maybe if you want ID, just type in div, then ID, put hash. Okay, type in the name of the ID. Okay, if you want maybe inner container or wrapper. Okay, let me use wrapper, whatever. So you see that ID, it created ID for us, and also add class too. So if you don't want class, you can remove class if you don't want it. Okay, so that is some of the automations you're going to see. So I believe you're getting excited as you're looking at this. Okay. All right, now let's go back to the extension because we are not done with that. We're still showing you some extensions you should install. Just know that you just need to type in the name of the extension and install it. Okay. Okay, this one is Expo component preview. This one is for mobile app for those that are using React Native with Expo. You install this one, install Expo 2. Now this one is highlight machine tag. Let me show you how this one works. This one is very important too. When you click, if you install it, when you click on the first tag, do you see yellow underline at the bottom of the machine tag? Do you see that? So this is important when, let's say, you are using PHP and you have a large block of text, large code. Let me open a file here. Let me show you something, maybe with my own code, a code that has large block of. Okay, let's say this one. Okay. Oh, okay. No, it's not getting it. I don't know if this will waste our time. Let me try. I'm just looking for something that, okay, let me go to classes, something that will give me a kind of detailed. Okay, you see this class now. Oh, okay. Oh, it won't show me what I need, but okay. It didn't show me what I need because I don't have tag here. In fact, this will waste our time. You know what will happen as we work together? You are going to see some of these things in action. But just see, if I click on this div, it will underline it with yellow. You understand? So that is what the job of this. Okay, and I'm looking at some other ones. The ones that are more important. Anyone I point at, know that it is very important. You can still install all these ones that you are seeing, but the most important one for web development is what I'm looking at now. You see this one, material icon. It's important. When you install this one, okay, what will happen is when you create a file, watch my file. Let me show you my file. Do you see this? I created index.php. It gave it PHP icon. You know, this is PHP icon. If I type in .css, it will give you CSS icon. If I type in JavaScript, it will give you JavaScript icon. For example, let me create CSS here. I just come here, right click here. I will create new file inside CSS. I'll call it style.css. Enter. This is the icon. It will give it. Okay, now let's go to JS. Where is our JS file? Yeah. Let's create a new file. Call it script.js. This automatically, you see JS here. That's the icon. So that is the job of this what do you call it, material icon. So you have to also install this PHP IntelliFence and IntelliSense. These are very important. They will help you to highlight error. If you watch me, when I imported a file, when I open a file from somewhere, not from this online shop, when I open a file from somewhere, you find out that it was highlighted. Some of the files were highlighted with errors. The reason is because I wasn't opening the entire folder. I was just opening a file in a different environment, and it was looking for some stuff and I couldn't find them. That was why it highlighted them with errors. For example, if I should open this again, let me see if it will highlight them again with errors. Okay, it did not highlight these ones. Let me open class for you. Maybe it will highlight a class, highlight some errors there. Do you see that? So you see error highlighted with error, and you watch here, you see red everywhere. So that is the job of these IntelliFence and IntelliSense. Just install it. Okay, good. Then another thing is Prettier code formatter. This will help you to format your code. So what do I mean? Sometimes you might type, you know, some people don't know how to arrange code like this. You see how I arrange my code ordered. So maybe after you must have typed your code will be scattered. Just when you save, Prettier will organize the code, highlight, format it very well, make it, arrange it the way it's supposed to be. It will not arrange it like my own. It will instead arrange it like this for you. You see this one, the way this one is, it will arrange it like this. If you are using PHP, you understand? This is how it will do it. Same with this one. Okay, it will just arrange it. But this is the default way code order. You understand? This way to arrange it like this. You see that? That's exactly how it's gonna be. But I like leaving my own. I won't do this. I like leaving my own like this. I understand my code better when it is like this. Like I can easily see where they start, where it ends, where this block start and where it ends, where this block start. It's easier for me this way. So that is why I leave my own like this. But just know when you are using Prettier, once you save, it's format on save. When you press Ctrl S, Prettier will format your code for you. You understand? So when you install Prettier, then the Prettier will start working. Another thing is, after installing Prettier, you have to go to File, make sure that auto save is not selected, so that you'll be saving it manually. When you save it manually, Prettier will format it. But I don't use Prettier much, so I like, because I know how to format my code to look good, so I like clicking here auto save. Okay, so when I click here auto save, so that when I type something, it will save it automatically. That is what if I'm developing website. But if I'm using mobile app, I normally disable this. I have reasons. There are reasons for that. Okay, if you start mobile app, you understand. Okay, do we have more to show you? Okay, this one is a Python. I think the ones you need to install just install some of these extensions that I showed you. Okay. Okay, so then if you want to make some settings, further settings, before you start using VS Code, another thing you can consider doing, just go to preferences, click on file, go to preferences and click on settings. Or you can still get what you need here. Maybe from here now you see color theme. You can change your color theme from here. Okay, so you see color theme, see dark mode, that is the one I'm using default. You can click here, choose another color theme, Monokai, whichever one you use. Do you see it changes the color theme a little bit? Okay, it depends on what you want to use. Just preferences, color theme. Okay, then you change, if you want to change it to Monokai, whichever one. There are many. This is how this one is looking. Maybe you like this one, right? If you like this one, you go with this. Okay, so just take your time, do all settings, the settings you want to do, and set it. But I'm going to put it back to default place. Okay, I like the default color theme. Okay, there's another thing you're going to see light, default light, Visual Studio Code light. So the lights a lot, just choose the one that suits you. Okay, I'm going back to default. This is my default and I think I like it the way it is. Okay, so that is it. Then this auto save, you can go to preferences, where is it again? Okay, settings, maybe, then this is where you see auto save. From auto save now you can click here to decide when you want to save. Okay, whether you want to save. If you don't want auto save, you can click off. Okay, so if you want after delay, that is after delay is after some second, after some seconds, just 1 second, it will save. Okay, then if you want on focus change, that is when you remove focus, maybe when your mouse is removed from that, or when your code is, when you move your code, or when you stop typing and move your code for your distance from your cursor from that, it will say. But I normally leave it after delay, so that after a second it saves my code. It saves my code automatically. But there's a disadvantage of using this autosave. The disadvantage is if you are using it, it is not a disadvantageous in VS Code, but in other text editor. If you are used to autosave, if you start working on in other text editor, you might forget to save, and begin to think of when you after typing a code, that code will not reflect. Then begin to imagine what happened where you made mistakes. You might even keep debugging without remembering that you forgot to save. It has happened to me, because at a point I was used to not saving because it will save things automatically for me. So whenever you are using another different text editor and you are having issues, check whether you've saved. Because you might be using autosave in VS Code for long and you forgot that you have to, if you're using another text editor, that you have to save. Okay, that's done. I think all settings done. We are done with all these. Everything closed, all this one closed. So we are through. In the next tutorial now, we are going to, we've created index.php, which is the first page we're going to work with. We also created style and the script. Okay, yes. So a subsequent tutorial will continue. Thank you so much.